And that was the beauty of what they were able to accomplish with this show, was this was not a cartoon. This was a series of serious drama and epic proportions, I think, on a weekly basis in 22 minutes. I have the high ground.
Oh gosh, I don't mean to get him in trouble, but he would tell me to think of dead puppies.
Can you give us a little tauntaun?
Thank you.
Okay. Nice to meet you too.
How incredible is this audience, you guys? Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hold up your lightsaber.
Oh my gosh.
Are you all here for us?
Dee Bradley Baker, one of the most talented people on the planet, the voice of every single clone, is here with us, and we are thrilled to have him. Dee.
Well, I mean, for me, the most unexpected was that it just kept going, and that the first great unexpected was finishing the Clone Wars properly, which I never thought that was going to happen. So that for me was the big unexpected right there. I'm so glad that Dave and Disney and everybody thought to do. That was wonderful.
Thanks to the fans. You guys never gave up on us, and you kept going out there, save the Clone Wars, save the Clone Wars. You did it.
And I would say this and this. I mean, we have a family now. We were just saying backstage that we've been friends and we genuinely love each other now for 17 years. And then the fact that we're here with all of you, my favorite thing about Star Wars is just our community and the fans, and because we're fans. Like, we are literally giant Star Wars fans. So the fact that we get to geek out with you and that you get to geek out with us, that we just love Star Wars so much. And I feel like we've gained a Star Wars family all over the world, and I'm super grateful. So thank you. My favorite episode is probably The Wrong Jedi, which just had its 10th anniversary yesterday. But it's the season 5 finale. As devastating as it is, it's just such an incredible moment for Ahsoka.
I think that it changes for me all the time, but I always do go back to the Mortis arc. Yeah, because it was so kind of crazy and just dealt with the Force, and it just felt so like, you know, the mythos of it all was just so cool in that arc of episodes.
Yeah, and when it happened, we were the first ones to kind of experience this shift. You know, that George was like, we're going to explore these things in a way that we never had before. And we were all kind of tripping out in the studio that day going like, wow, what does this mean for the future and how the Force works? It was really awesome. Dee?
That's a really hard one because there's just so much beautiful writing and so many great episodes. For me personally, I will choose today the death of Fives and when we lost Fives, because of what that was and what it meant and what it almost was. So for me personally, yeah.
Thank you.
Man. Oh, what about Obi-Wan? You don't want to know Obi-Wan? The Force is strong with me too. No, I would have to say, spoiler alert, season 5 with the Duchess and Darth Maul. We would get these scripts, you have to understand, we'd get the scripts pretty much when we walked in. So we never knew what we were going to say. So when you hear us say these fantastic lines that these amazing, talented people said, it was usually the first, second, or third time they ever spoke those words. And so when that happened with the Duchess, I didn't know until the end. I kept expecting Anakin and Rex and Ahsoka to walk in and save the day, but they didn't. And so it's tragedy, but it's still one of my favorites because it's so beautiful. And that was the beauty of what they were able to accomplish with this show, was this was not a cartoon. This was a series of serious drama and epic proportions, I think, on a weekly basis in 22 minutes. Ashley and I, years ago, back in like season 1 or 2, we talked about, wouldn't it make a great Broadway musical? Obi-Wan and Satine together when they were younger? All the girls in the crowd are going, ooh.
If you really want to get under Dave Filoni's skin, tell him that you want a musical episode of the Clone Wars. He literally hates the idea. And
everyone get your phone
always
out.
ask him to have a musical episode.
I have the high ground.
Matt, your response?
No response.
Okay, if I have to choose one clone, then I'll say 99. I'll do that. I've got a lot of favorite clones, and I love all the clones. But my favorite Star Wars character of all Star Wars characters is the Tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back. That is my favorite character because when I saw that Tauntaun way back when in the theater, I knew that this was going to be a fantastic movie. And it was. It was an unforgettable experience to see that movie and not know anything that was coming at me because in those days you couldn't know. And that Tauntaun was the tip-off of the awesomeness that was coming. And because of that, that Tauntaun is my favorite Star Wars character.
Can you give us a little Tauntaun?
Thank you.
And then what if we cut you open?
I was gonna say, did it give you the warm and fuzzies?
A little stinky.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Mine's definitely R2-D2. A longtime R2-D2 fan, and he's actually like the unsung hero of Star Wars. Because if you think about it, so many characters would have died had R2 not saved their life, and we'd have a very different story. Sorry, Matt.
Sorry.
Actually, with all seriousness, my absolute favorite character in Star Wars The Clone Wars has always been Ahsoka Tano. So, there you go. And I'm not saying it because she's right there.
Thanks, James. I'll pay you later.
Okay. I don't know if it was funny, but when Dee was the Geonosian queen, I thought it was one of the most fantastic things to witness.
What brings you to my underworld chambers?
It's so good.
Beautiful and all gender expression.
I think I have a lozenge, if you'd like one.
No.
And Dave, I was always laughing too much. And so Dave, at the beginning of every episode, we'd have a routine. And he would say, okay, Eckstein, come in here, ball up your cuteness. He called me laughing my cuteness. And I'd have to ball it up in a ball and literally throw it out of the studio. And then, true story, oh gosh, I don't mean to get him in trouble, but he would tell me to think of dead puppies. So it would make me sad, and I wouldn't be like, which makes me incredibly sad, so I wouldn't be so bubbly and...
Yeah, you go.
And
Okay, dead puppies, Ashley.
It is,
Terrible.
it's what he would say, and it would instantly make me sad, and then I'd be ready to record an episode.
I like Cutler Quain and his family. I thought that's a unique relationship and a unique situation for a clone. And I particularly like Cutler Quain because of that.
I like Jedi Master Plo Koon and Ahsoka Tano. Kotoya, Little Ahsoka.
I'd love someday for them to do an animated story of that. And I'd love Ashley and I to get to play those parts.
Throw it out into the
Take your
universe.
phones back out, go to Twitter.
So Matt and I are laughing because, you know, I was cast as Ahsoka before Matt was cast as Anakin. There was another Anakin that had started out and unfortunately was recast, but fortunately Matt joined the cast, and we had already been recording for about 6 months, and Dave Filoni had hammered in my head, well, the fans are gonna want something to be between Anakin and Ahsoka, but there's nothing there. It's like brother and sister, relationship. So apparently, the first day I met Matt, and I'll let Matt finish it.
Well, I walk in. I'm like, hi, how you doing? It's Ashley. Hey, how's it going? By the way, Anakin and Ahsoka are completely platonic, okay? There's nothing going on. They're like brother and sister, all right? I'm like, okay.
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you
you.
too. Got it.
So yeah, that's my
That was my
favorite.
introduction to Ashley. There was a cool character on The Mandalorian. His name was Lieutenant Lant Davin. He was a cool character.
We're
Didn't
hoping
get
for
much
the
screen
spin-off.
time. They killed him pretty quick.
Some fans have said that if I got to play a character in live action, maybe Avar Kriss from the High Republic. So I would love that. Either that or if I ever got to maybe play the daughter of Mortis. That'd be pretty
Oh,
cool.
look at that.
Honestly, I'd like to be Greedo. When I saw that movie, because I'm old enough to have originally seen that movie, I remember watching it, and here's Greedo, and he's talking, and I'm like, oh my God, there's subtitles. They're using subtitles. This is awesome. And I thought that was just the coolest thing that they would have. I really did. I was so excited as a little nerd boy watching episode 4 with a subtitled alien, and that just completely blew my mind. And so I would want to be Greedo. That would be my choice.
Yeah.
so
and you would be awesome.
We're laughing because we love you so much, Dee, and we've missed
I like that you said
so
little
much.
nerd boy.
Yeah.
I'm still a
Little nerd boy.
I'm
Well,
a little nerd boy.
But yeah, Dee and I are the older guys in the crew here, and I remember you have to understand, that had never been done before. Just like space was never dirty before. It was always 2001, everything was pristine. So when people said Star Wars, what do you think? It was like, it was filthy. You know, it was fantastic. It was gritty and real. So that was,
Look, it's filthy. Isn't that awesome?
this is awesome.
Dirty, filthy space machines. This is great. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. How
You had to be there, I
exciting that
guess.
was.
Yeah. Anyways.
Clone fans, and I know there are a few here. I want to say that the next episode of The Bad Batch is my favorite of season 2. And there's a new favorite clone in this episode. It's called The Outpost. I think it's 12 is coming up next. So watch for that. Watch for that next one. See what you think.